Cyrene makes an official appearance after a bunch of speculation of her being our little pet in Amphoreus, mem. Honkai Impact 3rd players are going to go crazy with the... I don't and never played Impact 3rd, so I actually have nothing else to say here. She looks absolutely gorgeous and I absolutely love the colors, but let's just have a look at what Cyrene we're getting into. I'm sure Hycelens, Soridra, and the Fate collab are going to take a toll on your wallet and your jades, if not already. Not to mention that Evernight and Tarai are also arriving very soon. Thankfully though, Lootbar is here to save you. They offer you much cheaper and affordable prices, up to 25%, just by using their link down below, which also is a big help to me as well. I'm sure you've heard of them before. They've worked with Maker on Z and Raiden Shogun, kind of the bigger YouTubers that have worked with Lootbar, and I'm here to tell you they're doing good because the amount difference is quite big. Like this big. You can basically save a bunch of money just by going to Lootbar. We're gonna buy this big boy pack over here to show you an example, of course. Enter your UID and what server your account is in. Click the top up now after you are done. Wait up to 5 minutes after you see this screen, and boom. Money. The top-up bonus is also active on Lootbar, and by using my link down below, you will save 10% off of your next purchase with my special coupon, alongside a bunch of other coupons that they offer when you first visit the store. We'll be taking a look at the traces. In my opinion, if you have underwhelming or overwhelming traces, I think that very well determines if the unit is going to be very good or not. Anyways, for her trace 1, it grants any ally summon the effect Future, which they cannot consume themselves, and we will go further on what this does later on. Trace 2 gives additional recollection points at the start of the battle for every Remembrance or Chrysos heir aside from Cyrene, which recollection points play a very big role in her kit from what you'll see later. It's exactly like Finon stacks, you will be needing a bunch of them to activate her ultimate, and you cannot activate it before that. And lastly, for Trace 3, when Cyrene's speed goes 180 or above, allies will be dealing increased damage, and on top of that, every extra speed above 180 will be increasing Cyrene and her kind of summons Ice Res Pen by 2%, meaning you'll need around 240 speed for the max buffs, which max buffs will look like 120 Ice Res Pen for both Cyrene and her summon. These traces are incredible as far as I can see, and they do revolve around mostly Remembrance units and especially around Chrysos heir units for the future, so if you do invest into the Chrysos heir kind of playstyle, I think Cyrene will be your absolute best pickup by far. You will see why the Chrysos heirs are so important to Cyrene once we get later down the kit. Okay, we've been talking about the kit, but I'm going to be honest, this video will be taking a few hours if I went into actual detail into what everything does. So we're gonna go with caveman mode, and I'm just gonna very simply summarize every single ability. For the basic attack, it's as basic as it gets. It gives her a recollection point for her ultimate and deals single target damage, which thankfully will get an upgrade once you are in the ult form. The skill deploys a 2-turn zone and also grants her 3 recollection points when you use it. While this zone is active, true damage will be caused by every single ally's damage instance, and this true damage is 20% of the original damage hit, making this zone actually really OP, because think about dealing 100 damage and then you deal 20 true damage no matter what. That is a very good thing, and this is not even calculating any of the damage bonuses. Now, before we see the ultimate, we're gonna get through the boring ones. The talent applies the future thing to all of the summons, and when the ally of the summon with that effect takes any action, they will be consuming that stack, granting the recollection point to Cyrene, with her ultimate requiring 24 recollection points to activate her ultimate. And then you can reactivate the ultimate while you're in it by only having 12 stacks. Additionally, she can overflow her stacks up to 27 in total, and lastly, allies will be gaining a damage increase while Cyrene is on the field. This is a very solid talent, it explains everything we need to know, and it gives us some nice bonuses. As for the last boring parts, the technique makes a dimension, enemies go crazy, allies gain a movement speed bonus, and once you get in battle, it will automatically apply the zone of the skill. Okay, serious stuff now. The ultimate summons Cyrene's memo sprite, which is technically an out-of-bounds memo sprite, meaning we only see Cyrene and nothing else. So it's basically an enhanced Cyrene state. But again, it counts as a memo sprite. With all of that, you also gain an extra turn, and the best part in my opinion, all of your allies will gain their ultimates. Anyways, she goes in her ult memo sprite form, whatever you want to call it, and she will now have an enhanced basic attack that she can use, which is also coincidentally the only ability she can use as well. It's just the basic attack, but it also deals AoE now. And of course, it gives her more recollection points. Lastly, for her ultimate, she will also be gaining 50% extra crit rate on top of whatever else she has, and will be deploying the skill zone with no active duration. So technically, sky is the limit here, as long as you don't exit out of it, of course. And now we're gonna get into the memo sprite. It shares the exact same HP as Cyrene, and as I said before, it is out of bounds. It is just existing somewhere else. As for the memo sprite skill and its enhanced form, we are in big trouble. Okay, it has two modes, right? Attack and buff. For the attack mode, Cyrene basically destroys the enemy. I mean, look at the animation they show here, it's just death. And for the buffing mode, it applies a buff to an ally of your choice, which if it is a Chrysos heir, a special effect will be given, which I'll show in a second. Otherwise, you just gain a 40% damage increase for 2 turns. But I'll be sure to go over them in my full guide, so you have nothing to worry about. I'm sure you can kind of see what buffs you will be getting for each Chrysos heir, and you can go and pause the video for your favorite character or the ones you own to see what buffs you will be getting. They are all a very specific buff that is tailored to the specific Chrysos heir. And again, if you want to read about a specific one, or if you want to read about all of them, I'm quickly showing them here. You can pause on whatever one you like. Take your time. Okay, moving to the light cones now. For her signature light cone, This Love Forever, is impressively good, and it shows that Cyrene is actually one of the favorite childs of Hoyoverse. It increases speed by 18%, and when Cyrene's memo sprite uses a memo sprite skill on any ally, they will gain the blank effect, which increases the damage taken by all enemies. Use it on an enemy instead, and it will grant your entire team the verse effect, which increases the crit damage of all of the allies. Now, when the memo sprite has both effects active, it will increase their effects by 120%. So whatever the 120% of the crit damage bonus is, and whatever 120% of the damage taken is. I might put them in post-edit. And last for the video, the Eidolons as usual. When the ultimate or when the summon is summoned, the summon will start building story stacks. Once the story stacks reaches 3, all of these stacks will be consumed, and you will gain an extra turn, which you will be able to use the bunch of like arrow shooty thingies ability, and you will gain 3 additional recollection points. On top of this, the number of bounces for this skill, which is for Cyrene, will increase by 12, which is obviously going to be a massive increase in damage, and will also help you clear a bunch of stuff that isn't the main boss. For the E2, it grants 12 recollection stacks at the beginning of the battle, and the zone's true damage multiplier will now scale with the buffed allies up to an extra 20% with 5% each. For the E4, each time you use the memo sprite skill, this will boost your memo sprite skill passive for Cyrene's unique buff damage, or in other words, look at your screen, it will increase it by 5%, so this will be stacking until the end of the battle. And finally, for E6, the first Cyrene ultimate will advance all of your allies by 100%, and for each Eidolon 1 trigger, which is this one, allies will gain the according buffs, which will be stacking on top of each other. The first one is going to be an all type res band increase, and for the second one, allies action advance will also increase. I can finally and proudly say that if you're going to pick Eidolons, please pick Cyrene's. Especially if you play with a lot of Chrysos heirs, pull for her Eidolons, they are 100% worth it. I'm not gonna make any crazy assumptions, all I'm gonna say is she looks very crazy and she looks very pretty. There will be very big nerfs and buffs by the version 3 and 4, so I would say keep your opinions and expectations low, and let's see what they do with version 3, 4, and 5. Thank you so much for watching, subscribe if you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.